and welcome to Girl Talk. We are here today at Superior Heating and Air, and we need it because it's hot outside, or maybe it's just me having a hot flash. David's joined us, Aaron's joined us, and we're coming into a new season though with autumn, and it sort of feels a little more like autumn in the air right now. So when it comes to HVAC time, what do we need to plan for now that the season's getting a little cooler?
Well, we like to have system service twice a year. Fall is a
Okay.
great time to have it done. There's a lot of things to check out to make sure your system's running in peak performance. We're in an area where we have heat pumps, which do your heating and your air conditioning.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But
Okay.
what they have is a backup heat, which is called electric strips. You might have heard of them, or emergency heat. And those can sometimes do the heating for you, and you don't know your heat pump's broken. So you end up calling us when you get this electric bill, and you're like, why was my electric bill $500, you know? So it might have been prevented if we might have found something wrong with your heat pump. So get them checked out before.
So it can
fall.
actually still run on emergency heat, and there could be a technical problem in the system.
Exactly.
What
Oh
do
my
you?
gosh.
Yeah. What do you all do when you come out? What does what's a well check look like?
We go
You
through
can tell
the,
we all have kids.
we go
right?
through the whole system, visually inspect everything. Then we go ahead and clean coils and check operation and check the stages of operation to make sure that if it's a heat pump with electric strips, that the heat pump's running, and then the electric strips are only running when needed.
Okay.
Things like that. The other thing we see a lot of, we get calls for smells when the heat turns on for the first time.
I noticed that too.
Right,
Yeah.
and so that's the electric, the electric elements burning dust and dirt off.
Oh,
People
okay.
think their house might be catching
Probably
fire.
just needs to be cleaned.
Right, right. And so normally we can't really clean those, but what we do is we fire them up and burn it up while we're there, and we explain to the customer what they're smelling.
So they don't panic and think their house is on fire.
You got it, and it usually lasts. You know.
Do you recommend going from AC to nothing to heat? Or is it, because what I usually do is keep my AC, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like in November here, we get that back and forth where I'm like
Right.
Yeah, that's
constantly
what I
like,
mean.
okay, I'm turning my air conditioning on, and then the next day
It's
or
heat.
evening, you feel like you might have to just turn the heat up.
Sure.
Is that normal?
That's a
Transitional?
a common occurrence, and it's going to be personal preference, because what you end up having is we have thermostats now that can automatically change from heat to cool. However, though, hang on.
We're so behind the times.
However, there has to be what we call a dead band between the heating and cooling of like 3 degrees.
Okay.
Because a system, if you set it at 73 in auto, it's not going to heat and cool at 73. Otherwise, it wouldn't know if it's heating or cooling.
Right.
So
There
if
has
you
to
want
be a
it,
temperature
a difference.
Good point, good
right.
point.
So, and me personally, that difference isn't good enough in a sense of, I like it, 73 degrees
Right.
winter and basically summer. So I set mine for cooling 73 degrees, and then when it's heating 73
73, I
degrees.
see
Got
what
it.
you're saying.
But that involves you going to the thermostat and changing it when you're uncomfortable.
Right.
The flip side is the auto changeover, where you could set your heating to say 69
Heating
and
to
your
say 69.
cooling at say 73. And so when you get to 74,
Yes.
it'll cool down to 73, and then it'll shut off and stay off
Okay, that's what I,
Until
yes,
until it
there
gets to
you go.
69.
Got it, got
and then
it.
it'll turn the heat on.
Got
That
it.
sounds so convenient.
Got it.
But the problem is, though, is if you're like me and you like it one temperature, that 69 to 73, you might not
That's a
be comfortable. It might be too
huge-
cold.
yeah.
or
Can you really
maybe-
notice if it's a couple degrees off?
Yes.
I notice it.
You just get so used to that current that
I notice a degree, but I'm also a little bit more
In tune.
in tune. I would say, though, the average person notices 2 degrees pretty easily.
This is the
Interesting.
dumbest question ever, but I'm thinking,
God.
I've
I'm
got
excited.
an, you really, well, I've got an old HVAC system, but can you get a new thermostat to adjust it?
Yes. New thermostats work with any
So
system.
That
I've
could
got the one
upgrade
that
you to the
yes,
century.
I've got the one that's like,
Yeah, you're embarrassing yourself.
It is
You're
embarrassing.
embarrassing
It is embarrassing.
And it might not be as
So-
economic for you.
So we could call you to come and thermostat us.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's a
You know,
technical
And
It's
we have
small.
them now. They're smart thermostats, so you don't have to get out of bed to go change your temperature.
On
You
your
just
phone.
dial into your phone and tell it what you want it to do.
But I mean, seriously, for a lot of us who have older homes, right, or older condos, that would just be that would make a lot of sense.
It's a huge saving. They say, and when I say they,
Yeah, I know.
experts have done testing.
Right.
And they say, programmable thermostats and things like that save you energy. And
It makes sense.
there's some truth behind it. We wouldn't sell you a thermostat and promise you energy savings, but the idea is that
You have control.
You have control, and 5 to 10% in your electric bill
Huge.
can fluctuate with 1 degree difference in your thermostat. So by taking your thermostat from 73 to 74 in the summer, that could be a 5% savings in your electric
I
bill.
never even thought
Things
about
Well,
like
and if you're gone a lot,
Yes.
it's another great way that you could maybe.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
that brings. I've got a lot of clients. This is a second home, and I always have a big debate with them because I'll walk in and it's like 82 and they're 80, and I'm like, isn't that bad? I mean, what do you recommend when people travel? What to set your thermostat at?
It really depends. I don't like to go above 80 ever.
No.
It should be running
Just
a
in terms
good
of
bit
your
to-
furnishings and keeping your
Right.
home.
Yes.
Right, you
Just
want that
the
air
moisture. Yeah,
moving
circulating.
around.
Sure.
Now, we get pretty hot, so 80 degrees is still cool when you compare it to a 95 degrees, so your air conditioner is probably still running, but you can still get that effect, and that's where these smart thermostats come into play. If it's a concern, you're out of town and maybe the middle of your vacation, you just drop the temperature down for the day, let it run, and then raise it back up. Why
Oh,
not?
see,
That's genius.
yeah, duh. Who'd have thought that? I love it. Now, see, how much fun are you having today being on Girl Talk?
I'm ecstatic. This is-
Well, it's like the AC. It's a huge investment.
Oh my-
So you got to take care of it. It's a small price
It's
to pay
one-
to have it serviced rather than replaced.
Well, it's
Right.
one of those things that you don't know how much you need it until you don't have it one
Oh,
day.
yeah.
And then the attitude comes out.
What we see is a lot is customers call in and tell us that they're going to put it off because we're in a shoulder season right now where
Right.
we don't need a lot of heating or cooling.
Right.
And they're like, it'll make it because it's doing okay now. And the minute we get that heat or cold, it dies out. And then they're like the other
We
50
need you right
customers
now.
thinking
and
the
if
same
they
way.
had had
Exactly.
it serviced, could that have maybe
Or
been
just
prevented?
replaced it when we told them it needed to be replaced. It's
Right.
a lot of money, and it's not like we're trying to force it down their throats to do it, but
But it is
What
sort of
it is, what
necessary.
it is. All right, you guys, we're going to continue talking. Stay with us. We'll be back here on Girl Talk.
Girl Talk is brought to you by Custom Audio Video, Bertie James, the Westin Resort and Spa, Beaufort Memorial Hospital, and by Peacock Automotive. Please support these local businesses as they make this program possible.